Hello guys, let's discuss about the troubleshooting scenario part 2 with a different topology and see that what all the issues that we can identify and fix it. Okay, so this is the topology that I got you guys for the troubleshooting interview scenario. Just consider like I have like 100 users, right? I cannot put 100 users in the topology. 100 users are in the branch office, in this office. Okay, but are saying like 70 users, there is no issue, everything is working and they are able to access. But for some 30 users, okay, the applications are not working, they are not able to browse the internet. So this is the issue that they are complaining. So now we need to see like understand what is the issue first. Like now we understand like 30 users not able to access. Now we need to get the details of all the 30 users. Okay, so you need to start from the scratch as discussed like in the last scenario question, right? First check all the IPs and belongs to whether they are belongs to the same VLAN or different VLAN. Okay, so first identify this question like the same VLAN or different VLAN. Once you identify, so that you will be able to club the issues together. If they belong to the same VLAN, then you need to approach the different troubleshooting scenario, like troubleshooting steps. Say like go to the switch here, and see those VLANs are properly configured. And also in the router whether they have the router on a stick for that particular, because obviously here you like this, so you will have to configure the router on a stick configuration, right? Router on a stick, right? If it is an L2 switch. In case of L3 switch, the like default gateway would have been this switch only. So check whether that is reachable and you have the default gateway is configured and it is allowed. Okay, also check in between this trunk interface whether the those VLANs are allowed, and do a ping from your the PC where it is not working, to the default gateway, maybe here, or if it is an L3 switch here, default gateway ping first. So this is the first step that we will do. Same VLAN or different VLAN, whether all the users belongs to the same switch connected or they are connected to the different switch, whether the intermittently it is working or not at all working. So this thing that you need to sort out. Okay, in case and whether they are belong to the same switch or different switch. Okay, so this thing that you need to gather and do a step-by-step investigation. If they belongs to the same switch, then go to the switch and see what is the CPU utilization on the switch. First thing, whether the CPU has something, whether the ports are like, check the show log and check whether it's showing any error message on this ports, and is there any other log is appearing on the show log on that particular switch, so that to isolate the issue further. Okay, you logged into switch and you don't see any issue. Okay, then you do a ping from, okay, now the switching point of view, you have to check the VLAN here, the trunk, whether it is allowed, whether if it is a L3 switch or L2 switch, check the IP VLAN, everything is configured properly and is propagated toward the the upper layer. And if it is a router on stick, check that particular VLAN, the encapsulation with the VLAN for that particular VLAN sub interface configured with that IP subnet and the reachability, to check those basic related to the switching. Once all these are done, okay, then you go for the next level routing. Ping the default gateway and see you are getting the reply or not for the default gateway. If you are getting reply, okay, then go to the next step to the default gateway and see whether what type of routing they are running, whether they are running VRRP or what is the routing they are running, and check the VRRP status on the router, and whether that particular group has been like separate group has been configured for those VLAN users where the IP the internet is not working. So check that information. Okay, once this all checked, then check whether it's a NATing, right? Last time also we have seen the NAT configuration we tweaked and it worked. So same thing here, go and check the NAT pool, right? So last time we used the static, and this might be the dynamic with the NAT pat mostly, NAT and pat mostly. So whether this particular user IP segment, okay, is mapped to the is available in the NAT list, the access list, right? So if it is there, then whether check the show IP NAT and see that NAT translation is happening. Okay. Also check on all the interfaces for the ACL whether they are blocking the IP list in using the any ACL and any communication is getting blocked. Okay. So once this all the things that you need to check when there is an issue. Also check for that users are not working, right? Is there any firewall and the firewall is blocking it? So mostly like we check only till the networking, right? There will be a separate firewall team will be working. So go and check with the firewall team whether they are getting the hit from this user and is there any blocking on the firewall for this user not to access the internet. Is there any group is configured on the firewall also? Check that in the firewall end as well. And last thing is, okay, it's all good, everything is good, okay, and check with the internet provider, right? Maybe they would have given some, maybe consider that like they have like a network team added the new subnet in the NAT, right? And this even the NAT translation is happening, there is no access limit, everything is fine, I'm sending the traffic out, but the I'm not getting a reply. That you can filter it with the access list that I showed in the last troubleshooting video. So then check with your ISP whether the maybe they would have given, considering they would have given you new subnet, but that subnet they didn't advertise it to the others. Check whether the advertisement for the public IP has done whatever is allocated to you, right? So check that configuration from the ISP. So there is no definite answer for the troubleshooting. Actually, when you get an troubleshooting question, so these are the questions that you need to ask step by step to troubleshoot. How do you like approach? The approach is very important in answering the troubleshooting question and scenarios. So hope it helps for you and given some clarity how to do a troubleshooting in the real-time production network as well.